Good day. I am Ma'am Keith and I will be your teacher for this lesson. Welcome to the first lesson of your general mathematics. This lesson will give you a practical application of functions in real-life scenarios, including the piecewise functions. When you were in grade 8, you encountered relation and functions. But in this module, let's take into a deeper sense on how this topic can be useful in your daily life. Are you ready? Before we proceed in representing real-life scenario using function, let us go back to where we start. What have you remembered about relation and function? A relation is any set of ordered pairs. The set of all first elements of the ordered pairs is called the domain of the relation, and the set of all second elements is called the range. Well, a function is a relation or rule of correspondence between two elements, the domain and range, such that each element in the domain corresponds to exactly one element in the range. To further understand function, let's start with the following. Given the following ordered pairs, which relations are functions? You are right. The relations A and B are functions because each element in the domain corresponds to a unique element in the range. Meanwhile, relations C and D are not functions because they contain ordered pairs with the same domain. C contains 0, 1 and 0, negative 1, while D contains AB and AD. How about if the given are graphs of relations? Can you identify which are functions? Do you still remember the vertical line test? Let's recall. A relation between two sets of numbers can be illustrated by graph in a Cartesian plane, and that a function passes the vertical line test. A graph of a relation is a function if any vertical line drawn passing through the graph intersects at exactly one point. Using the vertical line test, can you identify the graphs of functions? Great! A and C are graphs of functions, while B and D are not because they do not pass the vertical line test. We said that for a relation to become a function, the value of the domain must correspond to a single value of the range. Read some of the conversations on page 8 and determine if they can be classified as functions or not. After that, write the reflection on page 9. You are given 10 minutes to do the activity. The scenarios that you have read a while ago are all examples of relations that show function. Monogamous marriage is an example of function when there is faith and loyalty. Let us say, Jude is the domain and May is the range. When there is faithfulness in their marriage, there will be one-to-one relationship, one domain to one range. Nationality could also illustrate a function. We expect that at least a person has one nationality. Let's say Kim is the domain and her nationality is the range. Therefore, there is a one-to-one relationship. Function can be illustrated as a machine, where there is the input and the output. When you put an object into a machine, you expect a product as output after the process being done by the machine. For example, when you put an orange fruit into a juicer, you expect an orange juice as the output and not a grape juice. Or, we'll never expect to have two kinds of juices, orange and grapes. You have learned that function can be represented by equation. Since output y is dependent on input x, we can say that y is a function of x. For example, if a function machine always adds 3 to whatever you put in it, therefore, we can derive an equation of x plus 3 is equal to y, or f of x is equal to x plus 3 where f of x is equal to y. These are some of the real-life situations. If height h is a function of age a, give a function h that can represent the height of a person in age a if every year the height is added by 2 inches. Therefore, since every year the height is added by 2 inches, then the height function is h of a is equal to 2 plus a, where a is the age of the person. Let us try another example. Give a function b that can represent the amount of battery charge of a cellular phone in HR if 12% of battery was lost every hour. Since every hour loses 12% of the battery, then the amount of battery function is b of h is equal to 100 minus 0.12h, since 12% is equivalent to 0.12 in decimal. There are functions that require more than one formula in order to obtain the given output. There are instances when we need to describe situations in which a rule or relationship changes as the input value crosses certain boundaries. In this case, we may need to apply the piecewise function. A piecewise function is a function in which more than one formula is used to define the output. Each formula has its own domain, and the domain of the function is the union of all these smaller domains. We notate this idea like this. F of x is equal to formula 1 if x is in the domain 1, formula 2 if x is in domain 2, and formula 3 if x is in domain 3. Look at this example. A user is charged 250 pesos monthly for a particular mobile plan, which includes 200 free text messages. Messages in excess of 200 are charged 1 peso each. Represent the monthly cost of text messaging using the function T of m, where m is the number of messages sent in a month. So we have T of m is equal to 250 if m is greater than 0 or less than 200. That is the formula used for sending messages of not exceeding 200, while the second formula would be 250 plus m minus 200 for messages sent more than 200. Let us try another one. A certain chocolate bar costs 50 pesos per piece. However, if you buy more than 5 pieces, they will mark down the price to 48 pesos per piece. Use a piecewise function to represent the cost in terms of the number of chocolate bars bought. So we have f of n is equal to 50 if n is greater than 0 but not greater than 5. And 48n if n is greater than 5. That is for buying more than 5 chocolate bars. To practice what you have learned for this lesson, answer what's more. Read each situation carefully to solve each problem. Write your answer in your activity notebook. You are given 5 minutes to complete the activity. Marvelous! We're about to end our lesson, but to further test your understanding, I want you to answer what I have learned and what I can do for 10 minutes. Your timer starts now. Time is up! Now we are on the last part of your module, your assessment. So I want you to choose the letter of your best answer and write it in your activity notebook. Congratulations! We are done with Module 1 of your General Mathematics. And you feel that you need more activities, then you can answer the additional activities given in this module. Again, I am Ma'am Keith Catherine Lagundon, your General Mathematics teacher. Stay tuned on LDN TV for more video lessons. Goodbye!